Today we're going to actually look at something called a running landing. Effectively this is landing the aircraft like it's got wheels, but it doesn't. Alright, Aaron, let's do it. Hopefully we don't run out of time back here.
Yep, we did pretty good on that one.
There we go. That was a little fast, wasn't it? Something like a 40-50 knot running landing.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Aaron. And I'm at a place called Anthelion Helicopters in Long Beach, California. Come join me as I learn how to fly a helicopter and earn my private pilot license.
Maybe a little slower then.
Yeah, just a little movements with your toes all the time round. There you go.
Oh, that almost looks like the real deal.
The reason I wanted to become a helicopter pilot, besides the cool factor, is there's just so many different jobs out there that you can do. There's nothing like it. I'm here because there's so much to offer, and the one thing I've learned so far is every time that blade turns, it's game time.
So today's video is going to be all about running landings. Why do we need them? They're pretty common in the helicopter world, and they can be for a variety of reasons. The first reason really is to do with aircraft performance. Now, that can mean a couple of things. We could be talking about the engine itself. We've lost performance in the engine for whatever reason. We could have a failed magneto, we could have some fouled plugs, we could have some failed compression in the engine. Either way, it's not producing the power that it should do, and that's a purely mechanical thing, not allowing us to hover in ground effect or out ground effect, necessitating a running landing. We can also have conditions, prevailing conditions. We call it density altitude. We can actually call it the 4 H's as well: high, hot, heavy, humid. So either the aircraft's too high and the air's too thin, and we're not getting as better performance out of the aircraft. We're up in the mountains. We've got thin air going over the blades and into the engine. It's not creating enough power and lift, and again, we can't maintain that in the ground effect or out of ground effect hover. We can also have we'll be too heavy, so we've got 4 people on board, too much fuel, and we're having trouble maintaining. That should never really happen. Of course, you should know the weight of your aircraft, quite frankly, and not be leaving if you're overloaded. But nevertheless, it's one of those H's that we go over, which is not very good. Hot as well, so high and hot, almost the same thing in terms of what the resultant of it. Again, when things are hot, the air molecules come further apart, and we get less volume of actual airflow in the engine over the blades, decrease in performance. Last one is humidity. Again, when it's humid, things don't perform well as well. So all of these could lead to a loss of power without actually anything wrong with the engine, which still necessitates a running landing because you just simply don't have enough power to actually maintain a hover and do a normal set down. Other factors we've got to think about: loss of tail rotor or tail rotor drive shaft. Again, when tail rotor fails, you're going to want to maintain as much forward airspeed as possible during the landing, so that you don't have to. The aircraft won't yaw when you pull up the collective. The more forward speed you can maintain, the more airflow over the control surfaces and the fuselage, which will maintain your directional control as well as possible. So a running landing really the only option on that front as well. And lastly, there's a few other things, but we also have things like a full electrical failure. Which we'll talk more about in the video, but obviously in an R22 or 44, when you have a full electrical failure, you lose your tax, you lose your low RPM warning system, you lose your governor, so you're really just relying on a correlator to land the aircraft. And I don't know about you, but personally I want to be able to keep that correlator working, which only usually does above about 18 to 20 inches, and running landing is the easiest way to facilitate that. So with that being said, those are all the major parts that we're going to look at and reasons why we need to do running landings. Let's get in the aircraft and show you what it's all about.
Good afternoon everyone, this is Alex and Aaron from Anthelion Helicopters, and welcome to some of our continued flight training videos. Today we're going to actually look at something called a running landing. Effectively this is landing the aircraft like it's got wheels, but it doesn't. So very useful in a number of situations with helicopters. And let's just offset just a little bit here, so align yourself with the corner of that building so we just stay a little bit away from that runway, if that makes sense.
A little bit to the left?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Alright, and start your descent. And bring us around on, down into your base and your final pad 3. So yeah, so we're going to look at something called a running landing today, which we're doing for something called a shallow approach. And traditionally this is used for a number of reasons, everything from low power settings, high density altitude settings, tail rotor failures, complete electrical failures, and a myriad of different things. It's just a very useful tool that you use as a pilot. It's kind of counterintuitive to a lot of people because you think just because we haven't got wheels that we can't skid along the ground. If we have to, we will. And today we're going to go and work into it. So the first kind of approach that Aaron's doing today is called a shallow approach. This is how we usually do a running landing, and it's we want to, you clear?
Yep.
You want a shallow approach angle so you don't put as much stress on the skids when you hit. Obviously if you're doing anything steeper, then there's far more stress on the skids and bouncing and potential damage to the undercarriage we don't want. And the other thing is we want to stay above ETL, right Aaron? We want to make sure we're keeping that efficiency in the main and the tail rotor system, and we can do that easier from a shallow approach, right? So Aaron's just trying to figure out right now what he can do, what's the minimum speed and power that he can use to maintain above ETL, right? And that's what you're trying to figure out right now. So just talk these guys through what you're up to.
I'm pretty much just trying to stay about above ETL, which is somewhere around 40, and then maybe a little slower, but depending on the winds. And then I just want to maintain a pretty good glide slope where I don't have to use too much power. Like I said, it shows I'm at about 15 inches right now, and I'm just trying to make it to the spot.
Yeah, and you can go a little bit faster if you want now. I mean, this is a kind of there's ETL, right? You feel that vibration now coming through, so don't go any slower.
Yep.
This is what we know, so we're actually at about 23, 24 knots. And don't take it during landing this, we'll just take it into a hover, right? We're just going to demonstrate a shallow approach first now, right now.
Okay.
Yeah, just bring it into a hover above the 3. So this was a recon, right? We know from that if we stay about 25 knots, pending wind changes, we're going to be safe, right, with this.
Correct.
It really depends on that headwind. Obviously, if you've got a really strong headwind, it's as easy as pie. You can pretty much touch ground, and when you're looking like you're standing still and you're actually still above ETL. For sure. Then, heaven forbid, if you've got to do it in a tailwind, you'll be going about 70 knots probably to stay ETL. So, not the other one in a tailwind, but you never know the circumstances sometimes.
For sure.
But right now we're pretty good. So let's do a clearing turn to the left, if you can.
Tail clear to the right.
Yep, tail clear. Alright, got to get out of the sun for 1 second so we stop sweating. And, no air conditioning in this blooming aircraft. Looking clear, keep going all the way around, mate, all the way around. Let's just do a full 360, just for shits and giggles. But it's just good to get spatial awareness of everything. For all the different approaches, a Long Beach, right, because we got full 360 for approaches. Alright, good. If you want to get over the tower and let's request a left traffic for pad 3.
Perfect. Helicopter 4 Hotel Sierra, pad 3, requesting left closed traffic.
Helicopter 4 Hotel Sierra, pad 3, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 4 Hotel Sierra.
Alright, well, lights out, gauge green, patch number is good. Let's take her off. So we're just doing a normal approach, it looks like normal takeoff here. It's just on the power is takeoff power, as you say, that collective is staying in exactly the same spot, no increase in manifold pressure, just easing in cyclic forward through a fast walk until we pop through ETL and make necessary cyclic and pedal adjustments to when the main and tail rotors go through ETL, and then when we get about 40-50 knots, so we're going to come back to a level altitude and start that climb up to stay out of high velocity diagram as much as we possibly can, and just keep things as safe as possible.
For sure.
Alright, good. So just bring around this step. So this time around you're actually going to do the same thing. So just talk me through what you're actually going to do on the last bit here for the running landing area. What do you not want to do as well?
I just don't want to...
2030 Charlie, holding short.
I just don't want to go too slow, and once I start going too slow, I need too much power.
Yeah.
I just want to kind of try to stay above ETL, maybe a little bit faster, and then just kind of not, on my manifold pressure, not try to get past a certain...
So yeah, obviously that, level attitude, obviously, right, we get this aeroplane pilots all the time when they want to keep pulling back on the cyclic, and we say no, none of that, just make it up to 500 mate for crossing runways. Level attitude, and when we actually do touch skids, remember, we don't pull back on the cyclic, right, we don't want to slam that tail into the ground, it's always slowly down on the collective, just to use that friction on the main gear, alright?
For sure.
Alright, let's start us coming down and start our approach. For running landing. So, of course,
4 Hotel Sierra, hold east of runway 30.
Holding east, runway 30, 4 Hotel Sierra.
A slight delay then, so we're holding east of 30, we've got a a little bit delay here, we're just going a holding pattern here, east of the runway 30, because we've got looks like a jet, no, we could do JetBlue, not anymore, right, they're at LAX now, but looks like, oh, that UPS, yeah, pretty big old heavy there coming in on 30, so we have to wait till they've landed.
4 Hotel Sierra, pad 3, clear to land.
Pad 3, clear to land, 4 Hotel Sierra.
Alright, now get us that descent going again now, we're pretty high, so you want to start getting down here. You've got a nice long run into to the pad, so obviously aim to land, if you can, in the first third, right? So you're not making us skid off into the grass afterwards.
For sure.
So just aim to do that, and then we'll just see how it goes. I'll let you judge it. Yeah, UPS, 767. Alright, pre-landing checks are all completed, one less out gauge to go, pressure temperatures up. Carb heat is up in this one, so, you know, we got a carburetted 44 with a Raver 1, so below 18 inches, we're just pulling that whole thing, so here we go. We are in hands of Mr. Cole here on our shallow approach and running landing.
All day.
Yep. So I'll try not to fall asleep and we'll actually do this, you know, we'll see it on boat. Looking good.
See what happens.
Yep, shallow approach is looking good, coming about 40 knots right now. Well above ETL. We know ETL from the last run, which is always good when you're practicing to do a test run to start with, just to practice and figure out where ETL is. Keeping everything smooth, again that shallow approach, keeping that profile as smooth as possible and shallow as possible will mitigate any effect of us coming down too hard, getting the tail too close to the ground, skidding, bouncing in a way that we don't want to. Alright, so just keep us coming forward now, you're good. That ETL, that's it, keep it level now, don't go any slower than this, looking good. So as he gets closer, his eyes are going to move out to the horizon, he's not going to be looking at the floor, he's just going to be keeping forward. Good, good, nice, 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 keep her forward, there we go, she's on the ground. Skiddy, 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 keeping it level, slowly coming out on the collective so we don't dump it too much.
Dude, right on the numbers, baby.
And we are all the way down. Alright man, beginner's luck, but that was good. Oh yeah, that was good. So we did a good running landing there, kept it literally just above ETL, and yeah, we hit it right, and there you go. So that's how you land a helicopter without any wheels.
1,200.
We're going to do a little bit more now, and I'm going to come on for this last one, we're going to do a bit faster. Okay. Let's do it a little bit faster and show you what we can do.
Alright.
Alright, you want to pick up?
Skid clear?
Yep. Oh, the neck is hot, yeah, I forgot how hot it is, like the little greenhouses. Yeah. Alright, do a clearing left turn just so I can get out this sun just for 1 second.
And November 30 Charlie, that traffic.
There's that UPS. How you doing about that, Danny?
Dude, that is awesome.
Pretty great.
Miles southbound, altitude indicates 1,500.
Alright, looking good, warning lights are out, gauges in the green, pressure and temperature's good. Let's get us another left traffic, mate. When you can. Try and beat that southwest down there.
Helicopter 4 Hotel Sierra, pad 3, requesting left close traffic.
Helicopter 4 Hotel Sierra, pad 3, clear takeoff.
Clear takeoff, Hotel Sierra.
It used to be left closed traffic because you used to be able to get permission all the way around, and they changed it to now left traffic because you actually have to get permission on the downwind now because they don't want to give you permission all the way around because of the new regs here with actually added a number of runway incursions and what have you. So
Word.
You good? Yep. It used to be a bit simpler, but those days are gone. Well, now we got to make twice as many radio calls to do the same thing.
There's Ryan right there.
Look at me standing on his roof of his car. So our cameraman is down there, looking like a peeping Tom by the looks of things, on the roof of his Explorer, filming us right now. So,
Did you say exploder?
Explorer. Exploder. Is that
421 Delta Kilo,
Just
with
kidding.
Quebec. We'd like to make a direct down entry for right traffic, runway 26.
All right.
Golden Eagle 421 Delta Kilo, Long Beach,
He
Charlie.
looks like a plane spotter down there, doesn't he?
We're vicinity now, 1 Delta Kilo.
Golden Eagle
Looking good. Got a nice place there as well. This is clear.
6 right.
All right, so just to illustrate right now, so what I'm packing with you, Aaron, is a slightly...
4 Hotel Sierra. Continue downwind, hold east of runway 30.
Continue downwind, holding east of 30 for Hotel Sierra.
I'm going to wait for those guys to take off. Alright, Aaron, go, let's do it. Hello, come with you there.
Currently on 1 Delta
We're
Kilo.
going to try and maintain as close to 40-50 knots as we can with this.
Okay.
We're looking pretty good right now. We're coming in a fair old lick here. Principle's still the same though.
Yep.
I'm going to come on with you now as well, just so you feel my pressure on the controls.
Okay.
Alright, let's keep it coming down. I'm going to keep it push it down a little bit more, just so I know what we're talking about here. Here we go. And she's going in. Alright, so it's quite a bit faster, isn't it? Yep. Hopefully we don't run out of tarmac here.
Yep, we did pretty good on that one.
There we go. That was a little bit faster, wasn't it? That's like a 40, 50 knot running landing.
Yeah.
But it's still fine, right?
I thought we did good, yeah.
Yeah, it's still fine.
Nice and smooth.
Still nice and smooth. It doesn't, it's, like I said, we probably could go 20 knots faster if we really need to with any more serious things, but the purpose of the day just showed that we can do it safely, smoothly, easy peasy. Alright. Good stuff. Let's go back to the barn and wrap it up. So, today we learned how to land a helicopter like an aeroplane, right? Yeah, effectively.
Just like it.
Right?
But better.
Airplane boys should be proud of us for landing at 40, 50 knots. Ironically, like I said, most airplane guys, when they come across to us, they have a hard time with this. Just because they instinctively want to pull back, and obviously we can't do that because you'll put the tail into the ground. So the main things of it, again, running landings, we use for a variety of situations, everything from tail rotor failures, through full electrical failures, through power issues with the engine. You might have a stuck valve, you might have a busted mag, you got some low compression somewhere, who knows, there's something is not going right. Bad fuel, who knows, something's not going right, not generating power, or you're up at usually high DA, up in the mountains, hot days, all the wrong H's, and you just haven't got the power to hover. So you can't hover, so you're going to bring it for a running landing. Right. All the same thing, but did a good job today, Aaron. When we're bringing her in, shallow approach. Always a shallow approach. Remember, it can't be really a normal or a steep, because you're going to smack the landing gear on the floor and you're going to bounce and really rip everything up. And you're not going to be able to stay above ETL anyway, really, right? With anything remotely steep. So shallow gives you the best chance of staying above ETL. And like you did, you finessed it to make us figure out what's the lowest power setting for maintaining above ETL and what's the lowest airspeed that we can do, keep it safe. Yeah. That's why we did that recon run really, so you to figure that out, which turned out to be about 20, 30 knots, which you the second time round. And then, obviously the last one I just had to go and put it about 40, 50 knots, which was a little bit faster, but yeah, still fine, no problem.
688.
You did right when you touch down with level skids, you always just double check yourself to make sure you're absolutely level, bounce on the back of the skids and then onto the front of the skids, or vice versa. Controlling it nicely with the cyclic once you touch the ground, and then lowering the collective slowly. Don't slam that collective down, otherwise the helicopter will nosedive into the ground, and pretty unpleasant at that point, especially when you're training. Don't pull back on the cyclic to slow yourself down. It's instinctive, but don't do it. Yeah. Again, you risk banging the tail into the ground, which we don't want to do. So it's all with the collective to bring us to a stop, and then we're good. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Again, this is a series of hopefully interesting instructional videos on basic flight maneuvers, and today was shallow approach to running landings. So from Alex and Aaron, hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.